Hi, my name is Davina Shelley, and I'm here with Teach Now, and I'm going to discuss with you about how to unpack a standard. This is with Module 6, Unit 1, Activity 1. I am presently teaching in the state of Texas, and in my school, we are talking about different, I teach the science lab class, but I teach different grade levels in elementary with English, reading, math, science, just various places where I'm needed at that time. But today, when we talk about Unpack a Standard, we're going to compare two different essential grade state certifications, I guess you can say. It'll be between the Common Core and then between the TEKS, which is Texas Essential Knowledge Skills. I'm going to compare two standards, first of all, and then second of all, I'd like to discuss the big ideas and the student skills. On number 3, I'd like to describe some student projects or lessons. And number 4, during the assessment, the students will need to master, and I'll be sure to watch for students with special needs or accommodations due to ELL. The big idea has something to do with when you're unpacking the standard, there are different things that you're looking for. And I really liked this measure, this little unit design by Wiggins and McTighe. And it starts off saying, establish the relevant goal, content standards, course or program, objectives, learning, outcomes. Then it goes to create the big ideas. That's the aha moment when the kids, their light bulb kind of goes off, and that's the big idea. Establish essential questions that will lead students to the big idea. Then it goes to bundle the CC standards needed to teach the lessons. Then it goes to create lessons that will allow students to answer the essential questions. And last but not least, assess the student learning. Since we are talking about pre-assessments, that is how we would get to that big idea. Now, comparing standards, Common Core versus the TEKS. Like I said earlier, TEKS stands for Texas Essential Knowledge Skills. And I would like to teach second grade, basically K4 through second grade. But the second grade math, right here, I'm going to compare how Common Core is used across almost 50 states in the U.S. And the TEKS, which are Texas Essential Knowledge Skills, are only used in the state of Texas. Since I teach in Texas and I've taught in Texas for 12 years, I am seeking to be certified here in Texas. So that's where my goal is to get certified. But that is how we're going to compare the standards today. The Common Core State Standards Initiative right here is a little bit about like number, operations, and the base 10. So when you compare the Common Core, it talks about understanding the 3-digit, the 3-number represents amounts, hundreds, tens, and ones. And then when you compare that to the mathematics in grade 2 in Texas, they break it down into different areas, like the process standards describes ways in which students are expected to engage in the content. So there are different expectations, but I don't find them that different. They are very similar. And on this slide, I'd like to show you how this was a second grader's math lesson. And when he was comparing, or when he was using his multiplication, they were doing 2-digit number multiplications. It says 99 times 4. Well, 9 times 4 is 36. So he carried the 3 over to the top of the first 9, multiplied 9 times 4 again, got 36, added as 3 and got 396. But some of the Common Core always talks about grouping them in 10, like the base 10, 10 frames, that kind of thing. So here he had 4 circles and he put 9 dots in each circle. Well, if you added 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, that would equal his answer. But if you just do 9 times 4, then obviously we would know that is 36. So for children that are struggling with their multiplication tables, all of these drawings and writings, all of this can be assessed. These are just different tools and teaching mechanisms that students at a younger age need to visually see, touch, feel, like that's their verbs of doing it. Even though we're not talking about literacy, we are talking about how to do the work and how to come up with that answer. When looking at a 5-week unit, when it comes to math for children in lower elementary, you really have to begin with the big picture in mind. Like, the goal is we want the children to multiply 2-digit or 3-digit word numbers, but they can't multiply if they don't even know their times tables. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, that is all beginning with the earlier stages of what they've learned in math from when they were younger, what they learned in pre-K, K, first, second. But addition, they're going to need to recognize the numbers. Week 2, they would need to know how to add and subtract. Week 3 is starting to just learn those times tables. And really, a lot of second and third grade is learning a lot about multiplication and carrying over numbers, memorizing their math facts, and different things like that. And in the end, differentiating assessments, when it comes to math, you could do different projects, you could do different games, but just remembering that we need to assess and remember that there's so much differentiation in our classrooms. Whether they are special education children in our gen ed class, or ELL students that need to work alongside of our math lessons, we just need to be conscientious that not all children speak our language, and that we need to help those students that are needing an extra help when it comes to the math or whatever the lesson is on. The students will be able to be mixed in homogeneous or heterogeneous groups while working in small groups. The math games and lessons will always be a variety of worksheets, manipulatives, drawing, 10 frames, multiplication cards. That could be tools and technology like the exit ticket games, the quizzes online. There's so many ways to teach the children. And last but not least, the higher level students will also be challenged to be at their best and to be peer buddies to the other students who may need that extra help. I really hope that unpacking a standard is very helpful for you, and that this was self-explanatory. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for listening.